Right. Okay, the time is 7:24. We're going to start our meeting. You can all stand for the pledge of allegiance. Start the meeting.
Father God, we come to you as a group to do the best things that we can do for this community. We ask you to lead our footsteps, our hearts, our minds, and our thoughts, and everything that we do. And that it be for your will and your will alone. We praise you, we love you, and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, roll call, thank you. Kathy O'Neill. Elizabeth Osborne. Camry.
James Rep.
Okay, and announcement. Be moving in the park on December the 9th. No, I'm sorry. That's the market on the lakes, the 9th. December the 16th, we're going to start it at 6 p.m. We have the 9th, which is the market on the lake. And the fire department is having their pancake breakfast that day. And then after that, it is $5 for the breakfast. And Robin, you want to tell us anything else about it, please?
Yeah, and there's a lot of activities and photo ops and things for the kids and their parents. So bring your phones, take selfies, and all that's free. And there's some games and prizes, and there's just all kinds of things for the kids to do. So it's
Santa Claus.
family-friendly event.
And a live Grinch, right?
Huh?
And a live Grinch.
We have Grinch and Santa Claus.
And Mrs. Santa Claus.
And what? And Mrs. Claus, yes. And it's from 8 to 11, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
And
What
then
was the date? What was the date?
9.
the 9th.
Kathy, if you need volunteers for Grinch, let me know. You know, I got a volunteer at home.
Oh, yeah, we've got one this time.
The other announcement was the chamber will not have a luncheon this month. And then our meet and greet is in January. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our any citizens input related to the agenda. Okay. And we'll go ahead and go to looking at our, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Y'all have a good night.
That's the all real quick. We had some issues with the copy machine, so we were slow with the agendas. Okay, so the next thing is our consent agenda. We're not able to get a bank statement, profit or loss, or the vendor report due to the city hall being closed last week. We did get our minutes that I think everyone's had a chance to look over, so if we could have.
So I make a motion that we accept the minutes of the last meeting as they stand.
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then for new business, we have one application for the board member place, and that was Allison Bell Zervik, thank you. I'm so sorry, Allison, I have such a terrible time with your last name. So, any questions for her?
They know her.
You know her, yeah.
No, I already thought she was part of it.
Well, she was, and then she had to resign, and now she's wanting to come back, and so.
So your job allows you to get
Yeah,
back
I'm
in-
not working at the moment, so,
Oh, you're not working?
yeah, it was
Okay.
short-lived, unfortunately.
Okay, so we have her.
Join the party.
Yeah.
That's right. The old one.
Well, we got new stuff coming up that I think we'd be a good hand in.
Yeah.
signage and
You gotta go in front of the
promotion
board.
and so forth. I see
If
it's
you
a
don't have
great
to.
job at developing the website and everything else. I was like, that's actually one of the reasons why I was like, oh gosh, I think I could be of value here because I see people actually doing good stuff and making good improvements.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you've been instrumental, actually, one of the reasons I wanted to come join, so
I
welcome
appreciate
back.
that. Thank you.
Yes, so I make a motion that we accept Allison as the other board member.
I'll second.
I third.
All in favor?
Aye.
I didn't hear it, what is it?
Okay, to accept her back to the board.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so Allison, you know, the way we have to do it is it has to go now in front of the city council. Right. So I'll get that on the agenda for this next city council meeting and
Thank you.
get you back on our board. All right, we like that.
Mhm.
We've reviewed your old application since I haven't gotten the new one yet.
I have one at the house. I can bring it back up.
Perfect. Okay, new business then, moving on. The company that did our maps last time, okay, let's see if I can get back to it. Company that did our maps last time. Their name is the Specialist Advertising. They want to know if we want to do the back cover again like they did on the other maps, if we want to do that again. They charged us $1,298.50 last year for them, but they're giving us a discount by using the same thing that they used last time. They want $1,249.50 if we're willing to do that. So,
So we,
any thoughts on that?
but I think we got to start measuring the benefits coming out of anything, you know,
I agree.
whatever we do. And we haven't gotten one phone call, have we?
Mhm.
But I did similar thing, you know, for another map, what's this, 1,000 Trails or whatever, you know, they had another map, I paid some $300 some dollars, didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it again. So same thing, you know, maybe I'm not saying we don't spend that money somewhere else. Let's try something different.
Okay,
We can
We
scan
gotta get a
picture of
call
our
at
own
least.
map and put it on our website.
I think you always need to have the maps, but how is it implemented, right? I mean, it's become a digital age. From what I'm hearing right now, it's only kind of a physical map.
it is a physical waterproof map that a lot of the fishermen like.
So I think we just need to go to maybe possibly a different vendor that does physical plus pushes it up to a digital aspect. And also incorporates it into Google Maps, Waze Maps, Bing.
Something different, maybe, you know, people click on it or something.
Right, they just gotta be able to promote, I mean, I got a pretty high rating just on Google for reporting different places I go and saying whether I liked them or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I actually like to promote places, actually, I don't leave bad reviews, I mostly just leave good reviews.
Yeah, I
For
do the
places
same
that's like-
thing. I do
yeah.
the same thing on a lot of.
Right,
stuff.
so it's like, this place, it's like, oh, wow, this is a good place, they got good prices, it was a good environment, you know what I mean? I appreciated being here, I'm gonna leave a good review.
Mhm.
But if that type of maps aren't available to, especially, I mean, I'm an old guy. Don't get me wrong, I'm an old guy that grew up on computers, but compared to my son, it's like nothing, he grew up, it's like, that's all he does. So we gotta move up to a digital age. If they're not promoting some type of digital content or reporting, and we can get some analytics where our values, where our dollars are going,
Mhm.
it's probably a waste of money.
So do I have a motion on the floor?
What are you suggesting that we?
My motion is to continue to do some type of digital mapping and promotion, but something that actually promotes it in a digital environment.
Okay, well, I think right now we need to address the thing right in front of us.
Well, I make a motion that we do not, we pass this time because
Yeah.
we didn't see a benefit from this and that we develop our own.
I agree.
We entertain developing our own.
Okay.
I've heard people ask for a map of West Walk.
Not just the lake.
Right.
So
Which could be done digitally too, however, that would be hard to print out for somebody.
But we also have a lot of upcoming West Walkeny as well.
Right.
So we're gonna need somebody who's able to keep an update of all the new stuff that's actually coming on. We've got some big new neighborhoods coming on and so forth. And I know we've got some new businesses on the horizon, and we're gonna need to be able to have somebody who's able to upkeep on a digital scale.
Well, that's
What's
what
going
we,
on?
that's what we would discuss going forward in the next we've been on the agenda, and the next time we'll discuss that.
You're pretty good at Facebook, right?
Yes,
So in Facebook, you can advertise for a certain area and things,
yes.
right? And then we can measure the returns or how many people clicked and
You can also do that by
We can do that,
linking
right?
to the
maybe
website.
do
that's
something
already
like that,
there.
that way.
our website, it's already there.
Right, without
it's
opening up
already
the
there?
Facebook page, because there are a lot of compliance issues that have to be dealt with and archiving that has to go along with the posts that are made on Facebook due to restrictions of the law in the government. Like everything that gets posted on Facebook on like a city page or anything has to be archived. It has to be available for open records requests and all of that. So doing that for a Facebook is a little bit,
Cumbersome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be better just to do it through like the website where we already have something and it already has the analytics on there that you can go in and do that. Now, that's not to say you couldn't post it from there too, but yeah.
We could do individually, but anyway. it's
I agree with
not-
this though.
We do.
I mean, it's better to do it on our own website.
For the item at hand, though, I make a motion that we pass on this.
Yeah.
Do I
If that's the
have a
motion,
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
GPS signal lost.
Still fine.
so Red, I think I'm gonna have them, you talk to us now about what you found out about the sign for the EDC building.
oh joy. I found out a lot. Okay, so basically, I've done my own research. I've talked to a pretty high level IT and / procurement officer in the business that's worked with the DFW on what they did and why they did it, and give good sound reasoning behind the ROI and the total cost of ownership. And one, it comes really down to our requirements. It always does in IT, right? And when you start getting to that 85-inch, which is a large signage, which is very easily visible, driving both ways and having dual signage on both sides. For instance, the American Legion right now, if you look at that sign, that's an 85-inch. Okay. They are not nearly living up to the potential of what that sign could do.
Okay.
Okay. Now, of course, me being a IT guy, I want, and my son, who's like a kind of similar, he does his own digital art and so forth. I could easily make him, okay, create me a PowerPoint slide that I can roll up, right? But you get to a whole another level on that. But basically, you do like what the American Legion does is about 6,000 to 5,000 for an 85-inch sign. And now, originally when I talked to you guys, we're talking around 10,000 to get it done. And if you start looking at the cost over time, and really what we're trying to get out right now is really messaging.
GPS signal lost.
I just turned you off. Right now, I don't think we're trying to promote fancy burgers on a sign. Okay, we're trying to get messaging out. Okay? The cost of what it takes to develop the actual signage board is going down all the time. Okay? The cost of what it takes to actually promote the signage around it, to make it look beautiful,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? The actual infrastructure of the sign.
So, you know,
That
not
part.
just the poles that it sits on, is what you're
Right.
talking about.
That part is going up in price,
Mhm.
okay, year after year. The digital signage itself is going down. So now as an IT guy, I want to say go for broke and kind of give me that beautiful hammer on the sign.
Mhm.
But that's not actually what we need, as far as I can see,
Right. Yeah.
okay? And what we really want is we want to develop a nice infrastructure to develop sign in, sign out as times change.
Mhm.
Okay, so right now from the prices I've gotten, people I've talked to, we're looking about 5,000 to 6,000 to do something similar to what the American Legion has. Okay, on a nice 85-inch foot sign. If we were to try to go something to where I wanted, we're looking at about 12,000. And again, it's always changing, right? I think the money's much better spent on developing the infrastructure around it to make it look really, really nice and be able to change that sign as needed and resell it as needed, swap it out. So that's just,
Okay, and to do that, you're saying you're about 12,000.
I think right now, I think if we're talking about installation,
GPS
construction,
signal lost.
I can't stop it. But if we're talking about having a billable, if we're saying, right, we got $10,000 to spend, we can do it for 10,000. I think we did something really, really nice. We did some nice brick construction with some nice gardening around it, some nice overhead development, some nice posting, and we can develop it to actually hold a 120-inch and put an 85-inch in between it and develop it for the future as it comes about. And again, I'm just coming from an IT guy who's been around for 30 years and seen everything change and, I'm looking at cost. And I talked to actually procurement professional that actually really impressed me, who developed the sign for the American Legion, and he was spot on, so.
Any other discussion on this?
But I think we can get it done for 10 grand. But I think what we gotta look at is about 6 grand. Let's call it 6 grand top end for the signage itself at 85 inches. And then look at spending about 4 grand to develop something nice around it that's gonna look pleasing to the eye instead of a couple stupid posts.
And these are folks that you've already seen their work, such as the sign at the American Legion.
And they admit they are not even close to living up to the potential what that sign can do.
Can they produce this and then be paid, or do they need money up front?
Oh, okay, I haven't got to develop with talking to the actual person who did the installation yet.
We need to know that.
Okay,
We need to know that.
GPS signal lost.
That they are financially stable enough to produce and then be paid.
How much money do we have? How much money can we spend?
On a sign,
On the sign itself?
we have 17,000 still left from the last time we approved the sign, that we paid 17,000 some odd, and then the people disappeared. So we had twice that we decided on.
So we still have 17,000.
So we have the money to do that.
We have the money to do it. It's just a matter of when we look at our budget and what we're gonna take it from, we would have to be a little creative with our line item as far as.
So you're saying there's 17?
So, like, the 12,000 that we have under advertising would be what we could use for, that we're not spending on maps this time, could very easily be what we spend on the sign. Yes,
I'm just sorry. I had a question. Okay, so the building, you're wanting the sign to be at the building, correct?
correct.
Okay, and so that is insinuating that we will be keeping the building
Yes,
and not renting it out?
Oh, we're
or-
gonna rip part of it out.
Okay, so would that be something that you would need to speak with the people? I mean.
We
is
don't
that-
have any other people yet.
Okay. And then, as far as the big extravagance of it, like, I understand where he's coming from, and we do need to draw people because we are having so much more traffic through here, but, maybe not start off with it so big, maybe? As far as the surroundings of, like, I understand where you're coming from.
Again, I'm always kind of more of a long-term
Right,
player than a short-term guy, because I always look at my ROIs, but it's like when you buy a house, right? Most people don't live in their house 7 years, but if you're the guy that's plans on living in it for more than 7 years, where's your ROI at, right? And I'm looking at ROI as about basically 3 years.
Right.
Okay, and really, when you come at an ROI of 3 years and you're gonna swap out that sign, you're gonna be much, from what, you can't anticipate the future, of course.
Right.
But then again, we could probably sell the sign that we currently have, still have good money on it, lose 25%, and also get a, what you call an LCD sign, which is that fancy crisp hamburger that's sitting next to McDonald's, but on an 85-inch, right? For about the same price, and only have to spend maybe 2,000 more towards the future. But buying it now is not really a good price point because we don't got it, and the technology is too expensive right now at this point. And this is going both from what I've done in my own research, looking at just Google Ads, eBay, everything else, and then also talking to professional who already did all the work. And then I talked to him, it was like, oh God, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He's not only an IT guy with 2 high-level IT credentials, but he also works in procurement. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I'm gonna back check him again, but because everyone deserves to be back checked. But nevertheless, I was like, oh, okay, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. He's done his homework. He's also validating everything I've already seen. So I'm
I
just
know
saying.
when I read online some comments about the sign, they said EDC was looking at a sign that wouldn't be that large and it would just be running. And when you drove by, you'd never be able to see it, what it even said. So this sounds better with the big screen. This is more like if you're going down the highway and it says, get the right lane or whatever, you know, you're not gonna miss that. You can
And
miss
5
that.
inches is pretty large. And again, when I was actually talking to Pam the first run through, I was looking at 65
Mhm.
and LCDs. And you got some cheap ones that will actually kind of make they're cheap ones. And you know what? Get what you pay for, you know what I mean? I can install it. Who knows what would happen? There's no guarantees, but these are actually by people that are actually here in Texas. And they're validating, and they put a 3-year warranty on it and all that stuff. They got a warehouse, all that kind of stuff. And again, the way I might do things on a personal level is not the way I would propose it to the EDC. I would want more guarantees in place.
So I have a question.
And again, to develop it towards 120-inch too. Let's put the infrastructure on it for
So that we
120.
could put 120-inch
Right.
eventually.
Right.
Yes.
The question though, so are we going to be leasing the space out? Or in other words,
Eventually, yeah, some of
so that way you can make
yeah.
some money too, right? We
Right.
spend 10,000, get some 5,000 back every year.
Yeah,
So we should be able to do that.
It's rolling signage.
yeah.
We can time the different,
So they could have some use of our
Right.
sign also.
But I'm of the opinion that, it's the message that matters. I don't really care about, all the things around it, roof and post. Those things have no meaning to me that's how I see it. Just the message. I mean, we don't have time, we just go, we run driving past, 5 seconds, look at it, that's it.
I mean, I agree with 80% of it, 80% by far is the messaging.
Just the message.
But you also got that 20% of bling.
Who's got the time?
And I get you. But
Well,
again,
we
I say
want
wait
to-
on the bling
Yeah, we
until the
want
bling's cheaper.
we want to make it look good. We don't want it to just be two metal poles holding up signs.
That's why I say invest in the infrastructure instead of
Yeah.
bling for now.
Put some brick around it, put a little.
Right,
roof around it,
exactly.
so-
That's what he's talking about.
Is that size?
Put some nice rock, maybe
Yeah.
even a little fountain around it or whatever, make it look really,
We
really
can do that
nice.
as we get along, but we just do the basic stuff first.
Yeah, but all we gotta do is swap out the signage at a later point and really kind of have a break even point with it. Because the prices come down on LCD versus the LED 5 years from now.
So I think what I would ask you to do is go ahead and research some more on the fella. Ask if they can put the sign in before we pay them. Or like we've done in the past with our other contractors, we'll pay a fourth when they get started.
You just want a statement of work.
Yeah, statement of work, yeah. And so that,
Just always have a hard time.
and you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't have to go any further
Yeah,
with you,
all right.
but you know what I'm saying,
Yes,
statement
ma'am.
of work, because we're not gonna give them
Yes, ma'am.
this money like was done in the
Oh,
past.
no.
We're not
No,
going
no,
to
no.
do that. We're going
We're
to
gonna protect our investment.
protect our investment on that. So if you can get some more information,
We can even put it in an escrow, so that's where,
Mhm.
we can take it back. If they do the job, they'll get it.
I was a contractor for 22 years and nobody paid me until I finished the work, or if I did a draw, they did a draw for what I had done. And I had to wait 30 days, 60 days for anything I got
right.
ever, always. I never got money up front for anything.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
if you can't do your business, then you need to not be in business.
Can do it.
I agree, ma'am. I
Okay,
agree.
so can I get a motion for us to table this?
I make a motion to table this signage discussion.
Second the motion.
Okay, so if you get some more information for us, we'll go
Yes,
over
ma'am.
it again next time. Thank you. All right, now head down to the, huh? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
But we are missing one part of it though, because this really is kind of a two-part effort, right? One is for the signage itself, one is for the development around it.
Right. So there are two different parts for this.
All right, I'm gonna have to go out and do a discovery on the second part.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I had down here to discuss the playground equipment, and I had thought I would have some catalogs in by now to do that, but I haven't gotten them, so I think we will also table that if I can get a motion to table that one.
I make a motion that we table the park equipment till next meeting.
I'll second. Okay, and then the other one is training. How many of you are signed up for the December? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Trying to jump ahead of myself again. Okay, how many of you signed up for the virtual training in December?
I haven't signed up yet.
Okay, so,
Actually, if you send me a link, I'm sorry, I didn't actually sign up for it though, but you're right, I need to.
okay, so I think it's too late probably to sign up. We've got James at least doing it. So as soon as the next ones come out for this next year, I need to get you guys trained that aren't trained yet. And so we'll look into that. But we've got to be trained by the end of next year, or we'll have to redo our board.
Okay.
Because we have to get the training in a 2-year span. So, and Kathy and I will also be new this next year, so we need to get working on that.
And that's the sales tax training?
That's the sales tax training. Now, is everyone getting their messages from the Texas EDC from your membership? Do you get something from them every month?
I think so.
Excuse me, a what?
We'll get you signed up
Okay.
for it, and so you should be getting every month some things coming across from Texas EDC. You should get an email at least once a week that kind of tells what's going on with the EDCs in other areas. And sometimes they have trainings on there that are free. And any free training that you want to sign up for, please do, because they're very, very helpful. There's one coming in March I would really love for you guys to see. It's a one on rural development, which is what we kind of are. And it's a webinar, so you can just watch it when it comes around. So I'd really like you to do that. Okay. I think that's all that needs to be said about that. So we'll move on to old business. Business of the month. Do we have any suggestions for this one?
Last month was Void, right?
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to talk to the Kuwait people?
Yeah, I talked to them for a minute, but they were too busy to give me any information.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back this week, see if I can get them to talk to us.
Okay. All right. So we're kind of, I guess we're going to continue with that. If that's okay with everybody. Okay. And then movies in the park. I'm going to go ahead and skip to that. Anyone have any suggestions for movies for December?
And one thing I talked about was Christmas vacation.
Oh, I like that one.
Want to do that?
It's fun.
I'll do the flyer. I'll do tomorrow.
So do I have a motion on the floor for us to do Christmas
I
vacation?
make a motion that we have the movie Christmas Vacation for this month.
I think
All in favor?
I-
Okay. So we'll do that. And then, we need to kind of firm up the plans for work on 1300 West Highway 276. So we talked,
Yeah, the EDC building.
we talked about the electrical work.
okay,
Discussing what we're doing.
so I need to get this official. Here's what we want to
Discussing what we're
do.
doing on that building.
I can't find it. Okay, so what do we want to do about that building? Do we want to go into another executive session back in the back and discuss it, or do we want to?
Well, what is, the idea is, are you ready to go ahead and do the wall, make the walls, design the building? Are you ready to do that? If that's the case, that's what we have to do, because we just gotta kick in and start working. And we'll get a couple of people together and we can find out about what the cost would be to get the equipment, the 2x4s, run to Lowe's, Home Depot, pick up some things and stuff like that. But you gotta know if that's what you wanna do. Now, you wanna start with the plumbing, or you wanna start with the electric, or how you wanna jump in there like that, so that we have a plan of attack.
I think we got to agree on what we wanted to do, right? We want to divide it into two pieces, and one piece we use,
Right.
the other piece we rent.
Right,
Once we agree on that, then we have to make it habitable, you know? You
right,
gotta have light, and you gotta have plumbing, and you gotta do all of those things.
right,
That's not difficult to specify, we can do that.
right,
So we just need to agree that, okay, we wanna do this, half of it for ourselves, half of it for rent. if you agree on that, we can do the rest of it.
Okay, I
Okay, I
can
was
see,
there at that, but I hear the common sense in that part. Because really it is what is it about the use,
Mhm.
right? I mean, getting the contracting part is not hard.
Right.
It's really deciding what is the use.
Mhm.
I understand that this church said that they wanted to put a food bank in the back half of it.
It's a little gray church, but we can't,
Talk about it?
yeah, we really can't.
Okay.
So, in talking to,
That was it.
okay, in talking to some other people, I found out that they had a little office building over in Quinlan that we went over and looked at. And they had like 6 different people looking for an office building. over there.
11 people the first day,
The first day looking
the
for it.
first day it went out.
So I'm pretty sure that that gives us a pretty good indicator that this is an area that people are looking to put something in.
But
So,
does it support what we're looking for though? Is an office space necessarily support, especially something right there in a prime area that's right there in front of the park? Does an office building support the overall community?
see, we talked about the market on the lake
Mhm.
and using part of that area. Well, then we got into restrooms, which is kind of what I was getting at the other day. You would have to have the restrooms outside for people to be able to use that area.
here's the deal, is that we're not gonna make any money doing Market on the Lake in that building.
Not inside, probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm not just talking about market on the lake, I'm talking about any event.
In the
Right.
event, yeah.
Does it promote the park? Because really that is a prime location to supporting the community and the park itself.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna lease something out as a business, is it promoting,
Well, whatever
again, the
we,
economic
whatever we-
development of the community?
yeah, whatever we did rent it out to, we would want to rent out to something that's going to support the community.
Okay,
But we want to put an office for the EDC in there to start with, so that we can keep our records in a safe place
have our meetings.
and even have our meetings over there. And we want to do it in a nice way,
So you were saying that some of it we need, we want, right, half of it or something.
Yeah, we want,
The other half to rent it out.
yes.
So
Well,
if you're in agreement, then I think
What you have to do is you have to designate the area, just like we did. Get the wall set up and get your offices done, your floor done, get your front part done. Then you have the back part that you can work on or rent out, or you can have people come to look and give us an idea what they want. I mean, you just don't set up something without knowing
Right, so we have
if they're,
if we're gonna agree on anything, we wanna make a place for us to have our meetings and store our equipment, our records and all of that, and you wanna have an area to rent. So, would we agree on that? We agree on that, then I make a motion that this is what we're gonna do going forward with that building.
I agree. So
I agree on that.
Okay, so,
Somebody wanna second that motion?
I second,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so, all in favor?
Yes.
aye.
Okay, so that brings us to electrical right off the bat. We need to get some bids on doing 2 different electrical areas in that building. Is that correct, what we want to do?
Right, correct.
Yeah, true.
So that would be
Electrical, meaning the breaker box and the
2
meter. right?
breaker boxes.
what would be great is if we had a couple of contractors go in there, we tell them what we want and that they draw what they can do with it. What
I
they can
agree.
do with it, then they can present it to
Comments
us.
from a previous contractor.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Comments from a previous contractor.
Yes.
yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Now, James, I think, has drawn a little thing that shows 3 offices down the right side, an open area, and then the bathroom. One of the things that we will need to put in that will be probably a closet and an area for the air conditioner.
Well, I think,
Air conditioner will be outside, you know, diffusers like this.
And then the rental part, we'll, allocate a certain amount to contribute for finish out and let who we allow to rent it design what their need is.
agreed.
Well, I think we can agree on that too, you know?
And
So
we're
we-
not throwing money away by doing something that they're going to change or not want.
My one question is, now, is this property also aligned with the other properties going up to the AMVets?
It is part of all that is our property, but we haven't decided what we're doing for sure with the property between our building and the AMVets at
Well,
this
then my
point.
only suggestion is when the discussion comes around with talking with contractors, is find out how much it might take if we do it now, how much it would take to also add in a sub-post to those properties, because we know we're gonna develop it in some means or fashion. So if we're gonna have them come in and contract, it's usually cheaper to have them do it all at once than to have them do it separately at a time.
Sure.
So we might want to get a bid on, or maybe even start that discussion, because I've heard discussion before, what we might do with that property. And God, it's a beautiful piece of property, has a lot of potential. So
Yes,
I think we might want to start including just, hey, what if?
Mhm.
definitely.
I'm gonna agree with what Elizabeth said, they're on the other side of it.
Mhm.
We just give them the basics, give them electricity in a box.
Fine.
We'll have an air conditioning unit outside, or we may not even have that actually, if they have a huge need, let them come up with, we give them some allowance.
Mhm.
That way, that is the way to go.
The allowance that we need to approve the plan that they decide before they go knocking down walls.
I think we can agree on it actually.
Okay, so I guess we just need a motion on the floor to do the electrical and get contractor drawings.
I make a motion that we go forward to get the electrical work done. We'll need to get bids from contractors to do the electrical work, and that we have contractors come out and tell them what we want, and they can design it and give us a price to complete it.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
So the motion on the floor is just for subcontractor estimates.
Correct. We always have to do bids on everything.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so, I do need us to go to executive session for just a little bit to discuss some other stuff. So the time is 8:08. And we're going to go in the back room for a minute.